Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the new and improved podcast.
Thank you.
Through the highs and the lows for 4 years running, the podcasts have been here for you, bringing the victories and the defeats, the joys and the sorrows, and we're just getting started. I'm your show producer, Bella, the coordinator of the chaos. And if you want to talk to Scott, you got to get through me. So be nice. Here at the podcast, we do it a bit different. We're all about the investment element of crypto, no hype, but rational and objective context of what we are buying and what we are selling. And we strive to be entertaining and informative while we do it. So strap in, fill your glass, and without any further ado, I give you the podcaster himself, the one and only Great Scott. Dazzle me, boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the podcast. Thank you. My lighting's off tonight, guys. I didn't want to put in the big fill light tonight. I don't want to be blinded, man. I'm not into it tonight. So, you know what? You get what you get. Welcome to the podcasts. And again, thank you. Going to be different. I'm telling you guys this right now. This show is going to be a little bit different. We really don't have any kind of fit or format. We've never really developed one. But now that we're going to be going to a daily morning, 5 days a week morning show format, we are clearly going to have to get a proper staging to it. So I'm going to be enjoying the rest of this month, just doing my thing, doing it my way, and just having some fun with it. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. Everything changed. Everything's been changing for a while now, but it really started to change even more drastically, and it's sitting right there at $68,300 Bitcoin. Now, I've been getting calls all day. It's what you do when something's going up. Everybody's excited. It's going to go up forever. It turns into a tulip frenzy. I've seen these over and over and over. I don't get emotional about it, man. Look, it's just money psychology, financial mood of the market sentiment, psychology of man, and all that other stuff. I've seen this over and over and over. So I try to apply my own personal life lessons when we're getting the pure runaway like that. It's gonna hit the all-time high. Of course it is. Everybody's going crazy right now. People are calling, waking up. Scams are already starting. I mean, these things are coming hot and heavy, and they're going to be coming hotter and heavier because they're going to be preying on Web 2 people, moneyed Web 2 people that really don't know shit about blockchain, but suddenly they're going to be calling them up and offering them. Well, I have some Bitcoin, but it's not actually on the block. It won't be on the block until you add it to the block. And if you give me cash for it, I'll sell them to you for $20,000 a piece, as opposed to the asking price of a spot price of 68.3. And people will buy them. People will buy them because people don't know. They don't know. They don't care to know. They don't want to know. What do they know? They know it's going up. They want to get in, and there you go. Now, this is clearly supply shock. All knew it was coming. All right, there is a fixed amount of Bitcoin. My concern with all this is when they start dreaming up derivative Bitcoin. And just go ahead and put a pin in it, time and date stamp, derivative Bitcoin, because I don't think we're too far off from these big ETFs coming out with a way to create not just paper Bitcoin, but just transparent Bitcoin. And they'll probably find a way to uh, come up with a pool or a different ETF that's betting for or against the current Bitcoin ETF, and they're just going to turn it into a gigantic bubble, the likes of which this world has never seen before. So I'm kind of excited for that. Now, as far as physically holding Bitcoin, I sure hope the SEC learned their lesson with FTX and Celsius and all these other just paper mache exchanges. I hope they learned their lesson. I hope that they are actually requiring audits for these companies that are selling all this stuff to show that it actually exists. I sure hope they're doing that, because if they're not, guys, you think Luna UST was rough. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. So I really hope that they're on the up and up and tracking this stuff. And I think we got a little bit of runway before these big clearinghouses start figuring out ways to whip up paper derivatives. And there you go. And there you go, man. It'll be the bubble to meet all bubbles. So until then, I have to relearn to trade on this market. I put every single bit of skill that I could possibly come up with. Everything, all of my intuitions, my hunches, everything. I put it all together today just to see what I could scalp without leverage trading. That was it. I said, how much can I get? What do I got to put on the board? How much can I do to scalp alts without leverage trading? And the number that I came up with, all that I was able to manage, is sitting right there. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars on the board because alts are moving weird right now. And the best that I could realize, that is all the profit I could realize from all of these chains, was $5,008 worth of Bitcoin. That it's worth right now, and who knows what it's going to be worth in 10 minutes. But that was it. That's the best that I could do. So I'm pushing it in because, yeah, I do think it's going to hit the all-time high. People want it, man. They're excited. They're up. Everybody's advertising. Friends, family members you haven't heard of from for a long time are now calling you up and asking you, hey, did you hear about Bitcoin? And yeah, it's a pure FOMO thing. Now, I don't really want to own Bitcoin, and I understand that this is incredibly exciting. I get it, man. Look, I'm with you. All right, from 17,000, when that thing actually pegs, it's a big fat 4x right now. 17,000 to 16 or 68 is a big 4x, and that's a big round of applause for everybody who stuck it out. I admire that. I think you did wonderful. Well done. You made up for some of the crushing losses that you took out here. But at the same time that thing did a 4x, this thing did 3,500. 3,500%. That's a 35x. So as much as I admire Bitcoin and the market sentiment and everything that goes along with it, man, it is still slower money for me than I think is possible elsewhere. So I'm still going to be not betting against Bitcoin, but trying to find different ways to utilize it to my advantage. That's really all it comes down to. It does not move in massive percentages. 10% on Bitcoin and the entire planet stops turning. 10% on Jackal is Monday at 3. All right. Altcoins move differently, and they move fast, and they move furious, and they do all of that stuff. And when you throw the fuel on the fire like a runaway Bitcoin and everything that's pegged to it, everything that's running with it, everything that's leveraged against it, man, it makes a minefield for altcoin investors. So that's where I'm saying is that I have to relearn how to trade in this market. I had it up till now. Until those ETFs went live, man, I was steady gains, steady gains, steady gains. I had it. I had it down to a science. I was there. But as always usually happens when things are going really, really well, the entire market will change on you. So there we go. Yeah, got to relearn it. So we're going to be taking this stream. I'm going to be showing you what I'm in. I'm going to give you my context of why I'm in there, where, how far I'm going to stay, strategy, up, down, all that other good stuff. Of course, we want to invite your questions. Please keep them coming. A couple show notes. We will be hosting, I don't even know why, man. We will be hosting Levi the Giant, who is an AMP advocate. He doesn't speak for Flexa or Ampera or Anvil or any of these other things. I don't know if he's paid by him. I have no idea. He is merely an advocate. But he called me out, man. He came on there. He tipped me $5, which, hey, means the world to me, brother. I appreciate it. All tips go to Bell. But he tipped me $5, went to Twitter and posted about it. See, I called them out. All right, you did. And what's that line from Wyatt Earp, Bell? What is Bell? What is that one? You called down the thunder. Well, now you got it. Now you got it, man. I will go on record one more time. Don't do this. I'm just telling you, man. Don't do this. Find a reason to get out of it. Don't do this. You don't want none of me, man. This is not a friendly environment. This is not your environment. You don't control the bikes. You don't control the frames. I do all of that. And I am a professional at doing this. I will argue either side of it, and I'm going to win just because it is a skill. Doesn't matter what the truth is. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. What matters is, does the audience like you or not? What is the perception of the way that this thing is going? That's all that matters. If you're not aware of that, then again, I implore you, back out. All right, we'll send you back the send you back the $5, and we're cool. But if you insist on going through with this, guys, Saturday, 1800s is gonna be a hoot. And an additional show note. As you guys know, I'm retiring on March 29th, but I was recently tasked again to extend my stay, not with the company, but with a project that I have next week. I was asked to extend that. So for 2 weeks, Saturday will be our last live stream for a good 2 weeks. I'm out of town, and I'm not going to live stream from a hotel room. So yeah, we won't be giving you anything. I'll throw in some videos if I get time, guys, but we're pretty much going to be radio silent for a couple of weeks. So hope nothing big happens in crypto, but crypto moves so slow that I don't think anyone will really notice there. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Get your questions in, get your comments in, get anything that you want. We're going to talk. But right now, I have got to really get some... we still do these because it helps me clear the air and add some context to my own personal investment. So that's what I'm going to be doing pretty much this show. It's going to be different. All right. I'm talking mostly to myself, and you guys are over my shoulder listening. So I'm going to start actually with it's going to be mostly third frame tonight, guys. I'm going to start with that one right there. So I scalped the shit out of everything, man. I mean, I was scalping Juno, I was scalping everything, to rack up and to see how much wrap Bitcoin I can get. Now, wrap Bitcoin is not real Bitcoin. All right, it's not like that. This is Axelar wrap Bitcoin, which means that there's an IOU for Bitcoin on the other side, but there's no way that I could ever really prove that out. It's just kind of one of those trust me, bro, kind of things. So I'm never going to go deep and wrap Bitcoin or any kind of synthetic or derivative Bitcoin. I would never, ever do that. If I'm going to go in Bitcoin, I'm going to go buy Bitcoin. I'm going to put it, I get it. Look, it's going out. It's mine. DeFi wallet. You'll never see it again. But with this is always going to carry an additional risk with it. So I don't want to own a lot of Bitcoin because even though I understand, look, there's only ever going to not quite be 21 million of them. I get that. I understand that. And supply crunch is coming in because this was never built for TradFi. Bitcoin was never, ever, ever built or designed for TradFi. I want you to think about it. Since the Luna UST, which pretty much set everything off, including Bitcoin, which basically tanked the entire world, we haven't seen this kind of aggressive movement on Bitcoin until those ETFs came through. And even when the ETFs came through, it was just the calm before the storm for weeks and weeks and weeks. But when they finally decided we're going to buy, it absolutely exploded. I mean, it just popped like we haven't seen Bitcoin pop for a long, long time. I mean, it just absolutely exploded from a raw dollar amount. And what I mean by that is this is a month. This is 30 days. And if we go 3 months, it's a little bit more telling. But from here, where this was our recent bottom at about 39,100, it went from here and to here, and it did that in what are we on, 30, 45 days or so. All right, that is monumental movement for a token this big, for a market cap this big. That is shockingly fast movement. But something hasn't happened that has usually accompanied this, because there is a new paradigm that's forming that's happening out here right now, and where I say we all have to relearn to trade. We all have to relearn to trade. Alts didn't go with it. Alts did not go with it. Now, I have a theory. It's not a theory. It's the absolute fact. People are going to have to, pick up on this. But the money that's pouring into Bitcoin right now is not crypto money. All right, it is legacy, traditional TradFi money. That's what's coming in here. They're not in it for the vision. They're not in it for the decentralization. They're not in it for it's a brand new currency and we're going to change the world. If they wanted that and believed that, they were already in Bitcoin. All right, if they understood the nuance, everything that's going on here with blockchain, and you have that kind of money, you already have Bitcoin. You didn't need the ETF to suddenly say, well, hell, I have to buy Bitcoin now because the government approved it. When this stuff came into existence, and I'm talking crypto in general, it was thumbing its nose at the government. It wasn't waiting for their sanction so that people could come in and buy it. It was none of those things. We've morphed this out of our own stupid greed. We have morphed this into the point where TradFi is now a major player over here, and these guys have the money and the muscle to put out your lights instantly, anytime they want. So that is the new. That's the Siberian tiger in the cage with the Bengal tigers. All right, they're different animals, and when you see them next to each other, you realize it. So they're not coming over here saying, well, we're going to make some money in Bitcoin, then we're going to move them into alts. These are not those kind of people. All right, they don't care about alts. They don't know about alts. If they did, they already own them. This is pure runaway. We want Bitcoin. The government says it's okay, and we're going to buy it. We are buying this on behalf of other people. These are what ETFs are for. All right, we are buying this on behalf of people who don't even know that they own it. So that money is not going to run from Bitcoin to the alts. It's not going to. It is going to sit there in Bitcoin as long as it's profitable. When it's no longer profitable, it won't be in Bitcoin anymore. This is TradFi, and this is how it works. So we have invited that into our world, so it's made me even more cautious than I've ever been. I am super careful with every single buy and sell that I make because I have to account for this now. And what is it going to do? We don't know. Everybody knows. They go on and on. I look at Twitter. Everybody's an expert now. Everybody knows. I knew it the whole time. I knew the date. I just didn't want to tell anybody. Everybody knows everything now, but they don't. And that's the problem. So we're all kind of left to our own devices out here. So I'm going to just kind of stick to mine. I don't mind holding the Bitcoin. I'm okay with it. I would prefer to hold Bitcoin over wrap Bitcoin, but I'm also going to live out here in the DeFi. So if I'm going to get it, because you probably want to have some exposed in your portfolio, just not for me, it's not a lot. You got to put it to work. You got to put it to work somewhere. Now, there's two places that I could put it to work over here. And one of them is there's two different pools where you can do pretty well with Bitcoin. USDC Noble Bitcoin, incredibly smart pool. Incredibly smart pool. If you're going to pair Bitcoin, you better pair it against Noble. I mean, that's it. You don't pair that against anything else. You pair it against Noble. The only other smart pairing I could think of with this one would be Bitcoin and Ethereum because they have a tendency to run together. So that would be a smart pairing. But if you're not, and if you are still want to be able to realize profits on Bitcoin as it's going up, then that is literally the only pool that you're going to want to get into is something that is paired with a stable. Now, there's two different ones that are available out here that are decent. So one is AXV. That's my DEX of choice, not because I can get a better deal there, but because I trust the team. That's it. That's all it comes down to. Sometimes you got to go with your gut. But there's a couple of decent ones with a higher APR over here on Shade. Now, I don't trust Shade. That's all there is to it. That is all there is to it. It's a kind of it's got the narrative right now. Shade is running hot. I see every other tweet is silk, which is an inflationary based stable coin. Which honestly, I think sure, I don't care. But for my own personal perception, call me wrong, and that's fine. I'm sure they will. I don't care. I want my stable coin to say $1, not $1.14 with the reason. I don't care. I understand it's inflation, and this is keeping up, and every day we print more money that the money in my wallet disappears, devalues. I understand basic economics, but I just have no interest in really getting into the weeds like that. Plus, I can trade USDC virtually anywhere. I can trade Silk here. So I'm not one that's going to get myself locked onto a DEX. I can trade it here or Kajira, and I don't like either of them. So for me, it's kind of a no-brainer why I'm going where I'm going. But This one is a nice APR, 35%. It's not a big liquidity pool. And 57%, it's definitely not a big liquidity pool, but you have to pair against two tokens that I'm not hot on. So that's really all it comes down to for me. I would much prefer to put it right here, pair it against USDC, and collect a lower percentage because I know what I'm getting. I know the team. I know where they're at, and I like the AXV token coming out the other side better than I like the Shade token coming out the other side. So that's it. So I will continue to try to push money into Wrap Bitcoin. It's not my money. I'm not spending my own capital on this. I'm spending scalp capital on it. And I'll continue to try to push some in there. I don't know how high I'll go. Maybe 1 Bitcoin. I mean, that's the max. But that's all the exposure I would ever take on wrapped asset is I'll take 1 Bitcoin. So I'll scalp up to one. I will bury it right here. There's a lot of TVL in there. It's not going to blow up the pool percentage. And I'm happy to hold 15% on it, 14, 13, 12, whatever it is when I go in. But I'm happy to hold that let's just call it 12%. I'm comfortable collecting 12% on Bitcoin while it is doing whatever it's going to be doing, and when it settles wherever it's going to settle. This thing is going to hit the all-time high again, man. Look, it's not look at the chart. Everyone's doing it. It's market sentiment. It's everybody's talking about this. There's nothing else to talk about. And you know what? Here, I'll share with you guys a dirty little secret. If I had to go in on one of these, I would go in on Dogecoin before I would go in on Bitcoin. I would prefer to hold Doge over Bitcoin. Now, let me stop you there. I know what you're saying. Doge has one thing going for it that Bitcoin simply doesn't, and Doge has an inflationary mechanic that's kind of baked into the protocol. That's why it's limitless. There will always be more Doge. But if you want to consider take into account inflation, which you're going to have to, I think Doge is a smarter one to go. Now, I don't own any. I'm just letting you know there. When it shows up over on out in the cosmos, maybe I'll dabble with it. But as far as it actually using it as a currency, I think Doge is smarter. I think it's easier to work with. Obviously, I'd like USDC, but if I have to dabble in a purely speculative asset, I'd be in Doge before I'm in Bitcoin. The only reason I'm not is because I don't know where it lives out here in the cosmos. So anyway, guys, look, that's one of many. We got to go through a whole bunch of these, but you guys know I like to get your questions. I like to get your comments. I like to get feedback on what we're doing, see what you're thinking versus what I'm thinking. So with that, Bell, do we have any questions or comments or concerns or observations or anything like that?
Zazo Think Tank coming in with the first comment of I had 5 non-crypto peeps ask me today, so I heard Bitcoin ran out of coins. How's that going for you?
Well,
People still don't understand blockchain.
no, they don't understand blockchain, man. Look, there's a supply crunch, of course, man. We've always had a lot out, but and with the halvening coming up, it's like I said, man. Look, we're into the unknown. Everybody's gonna stand up there and tell you they know exactly what's going on, and for $29.95, you could buy their book that'll explain it. But this is uncharted right now, guys. We have no damn idea what's gonna happen here. The last one was a bubble. I mean, that's all it was. You had synthetic Bitcoin all over the place. People are just typing in FTX over there, typing a contract, and $5 billion shows up. It was completely synthetic, and this is more organic. So, yes, there's going to be a supply crunch on this. But again, without any kind of real inflationary mechanic that's going to be part of Bitcoin, I don't know what it's going to do. I have no idea. People want it to hit the all-time high, man. They want to take a celebration. They want the victory lap. Look at this. We broke it. The whole world has changed. But nobody's going to know what happens when this stuff hits 70. We're not going to have any idea. People will realize profits. All right, you're not just going against crypto bros now. You're going against TradFi that's been doing this with much bigger volume than you can comprehend, and they've been doing it for a hell of a lot longer. Profits will be realized. Period. Bell, please carry on.
Bud, still farming on Camelot, Scott?
Oh, I am, man. Yeah. You know what? I'll see if I can get it. I have a hell of a time getting this to load up, but yeah, I got a couple little pools over there on this wallet. Another one, I'm kind of heavy in one in particular, but I'm going to maintain a little bit of privacy for some of my holdings. But yeah, man, I'm still over here on Camelot, but I'm only really over here because it's the only thing I can afford. Ethereum is expensive over here, man. Ethereum is brutally expensive. So making any kind of trade or transaction or anything like that, it's very expensive. This has kind of been my little money tree right here is the Arbitrum USDC. Arbitrum is going to have a tendency to run with Ethereum, not always, but it's going to have a tendency to do so because they're using a similar mechanic. So Arbitrum simple L2 that's built on top of it so that I can do business with Ethereum tokens without paying Ethereum gas prices. But even over here, man, look, these things are not cheap anymore. I pull about 150, 60, $70 a day on that pool right there with risk. All right, guys, this is a V3, man. You don't want to mess around with these unless you really catch them. But I pull that just about every day on $14,000, man. So I mean, you're talking like 1% of my total every single day, and it's wonderful. But here's what I'm talking about with the gas fees, because we're over here with Ethereum now. Estimated fee. We haven't seen these in a while over here. Usually, for me to claim this, up until meaning the last 6 months that I've been over here, my gas fee is 35 cents. Now you're looking at it's $1.82 for me to claim $100 right there. So $1.82 for me to claim $100, almost 2% of my the Ethereum cost on an L2. So I don't think we haven't really seen the beginning of what's going to happen if Ethereum continues to run away, and Ethereum will, man. I want you to put this little thing in your little bug in your ear. They're talking Ethereum ETFs now, which is, in my opinion, a much smarter ETF. But they're talking about Ethereum ETFs right now. Ethereum's been doing this without an ETF because it runs with Bitcoin. Imagine what it will do when an Ethereum ETF goes live and people can now buy this stuff directly through BlackRock or whatever, man. It's going to be a problem. But yeah, I like to have my money all over the place. I'm not going to keep it all in one ecosystem, one wall, one anything. I'm going to spread it all over the damn place. That one's been doing okay. The USDC Ethereum, believe it or not, is not. It's let me see, is it comparable? 5, 10, 15, 36. No, I'm earning less on this. Even if I had the same amount in there, I'm earning less on the USDC Ethereum than I am on the ARB USDC. But again, I'm only going to pair with USDC. In a V3 pool, I will only pair with USDC. That's crazy. That like this pool right here, it would be just an absolute booming money shot because Arbitrum and Ethereum tend to run with each other. But it's that I can't put two straight speculative kind of tokens together. I just don't want to assume 100% of the risk on the pool. I'd rather assume 50% of the risk and carry on. So yeah, I'm still over here, dude. I've been over here for a long time, man. This is a piggy bank for me. I pull, I don't know, a few thousand a month off pretty consistently. Turn it into cash. I move it back to Cosmos and I buy stuff with it. I don't want to go much heavier than this. I have this one in another wallet that has a bit more. Just add a zero. That's it. So that's with the other wallet that I got over here. But V3 is incredibly risky, man. Read up on it before you try to do it. There's a lot more elements to it. But this is literally the only thing I do. I'm only on Camelot, and I'm only in Arbitrum and Ethereum. I'm doing the blue chips over here. There's a lot of different stuff. I don't have any real interest in that. Hope that answered the question. I'll carry on.
All right, Microman, drop in the comments. Somebody pumped Bitcana with a 10 grand buy. For them, that's huge.
That's a lot of money for Bitcana, man. Yeah, look, Bitcana, they've been struggling, guys. I've been a longtime advocate because I'm going to retire on the 29th. And after that, on the 30th, I will be high. All right, I promise you. I have not indulged in cannabis since I was 17 years old, so just before I went in the Navy. And the government forgave me, by the way. They said, yeah, no, you're fine. It was a different time back then. But I haven't indulged in cannabis for however 35 years, but I promise you I promise you on March 30th, Daddy's going to be baked. I mean, just baked. I always have a soft spot for passionate alternative communities such as the cannabis industry. It was great back in the day, man. Now it's almost commercial and cliche to a point, but I've always admired their mission on what they're doing and what they're trying to do, but their window closed, man. I mean, it closed. It closed pretty tight. Haven't seen any updates. I haven't heard anything. TJ used to talk to us all the time. I haven't heard from TJ for months. And guys, look, man, it's a chain that I support, but I promised you guys way back when we first spun up the podcast, I would only tell you by opinion. I'm not gonna sugarcoat something because I personally support it. I'm not going to do it. It's not about me. All right. It's never been about me. It's about you guys. It's about everybody else. So Mayor, I have some concerns about the lack of communication. Haven't heard much from them. I don't see anything from them on Twitter. I don't know if Leonore's still with them. Or is Leonore still with them, Bill? I don't know.
No, she is not.
Yeah, so Leonore was a fantastic community manager, and she's not with them anymore. And when I start to see things like that, I'm just saying little things start going out. I'm not exiting my positions. I'm not doing any of that. But I really wish if there are any or Bitcana fanatics out there that maybe have a better in with the team than apparently I do. I would love to know what's going on behind the scene. I understand they're coming out with a mobile wallet, and that's pretty cool. Maybe you could use it over in Europe, use it in head shops. Again, all of that is pretty cool. I like that. But you guys already have Cosmos Pay, so you can kind of do something like that. But anyway, I'm not hearing anything out of them. Crypto is all about the narrative. It is all about the narrative. And if you are not pushing and moving forward and not talking, people assume you're done. All right, they just assume that the project's done. It's over. They've moved on to bigger and better things. You can't do that, man. You cannot play fast and loose or quiet with people's money. You can't, man. If people are still invested in you, you need to get out and talk to them. Not on Discord, but I'm talking Twitter. I'm talking videos. I'm talking get out and pretend that you still want your community with you. If I don't start to hear stuff soon, got to move on, man. Look, it's nothing personal. I like it. I like the project. I like the product. I like what they're doing, but I like my money more than that. And opportunity costs are really starting to add up on this one. Hope that answered the question. Bell, carry on.
Zazo Think Tank. ETFs won't trade on the weekends for Bitcoin, and it brought up an interesting gap being in the ETFs over a weekend crash. What do you think happens?
I think for the moneyed crypto bros, I think it is the most golden opportunity that could ever be presented. See, now the difference between TradFi and DeFi is that we never close 24/7, 365. Man, the engine's running. If I was in that position and wanted to do something like that, I would hang up banners. I would encourage people to get out, talk about it, get your friends calling your other friends, party, celebrate, get media in front of it, get people talking about it. I would get them to do all of those things. And at 15:30 on Friday, when the markets close, I would go absolutely savage on the Bitcoin market over the weekend. I would absolutely dump everything. I would just let it go. I would personally bring that price down because I know next week, what do we all say? What happens next week, Bell? What happens when the token dips dramatically? What do we say? What do we always say?
Buy the dip.
Buy the dip. Yep, when it dips dramatically, man. Never seen a better entry point. Never seen any of this stuff. And they will. And I would ride it right back up again. I'd wait till the weekend and I would dump the shit out of it again because that is not insider trading. All right. That is plain market sentiment. And you can only do this in crypto. That's it, man. You can't do this anywhere else. And now that there are all these billions and billions and billions of dollars that are pouring in here, dollars that literally cannot defend themselves over the weekend because the markets aren't open, surely somebody else sees this, right? Surely other people are aware of this, right? Because that's the time that you let it go, let it dump, wait for the market to start picking it back up. You buy back and you just clean up again. You realize profits on the weekends. That's what I would do if I was super hard and heavy into Bitcoin. That is exactly what I would do because I'm sorry, man. Look, this is a book everybody's read before. So, yeah, they're going to have to come up with some kind of mechanism on this one, man. They're going to have to because they're going to have to protect TradFi over the weekends when TradFi is closed, man. I mean, surely they see this. I'm not the only one who is aware of this, right? Carry on, Bell.
New type. Is there anything real we can do with FET? Like with Jackal, how we can buy storage right now?
No, not to my knowledge. FET is it's basically a gas token right now for anything that's happening on the Fetch network, and there are a lot of apps over on the Fetch network. Do yourself a favor, man. Now this is on us, Bell, because my priorities shifted over to other things. There is no team. There is no podcast team. There's me and there's Bell. Belle's doing her thing, so I only get her about half the time now because she's gainfully employed with Astrovault. So I have to do a lot more of the research myself, and I work a full-time job. I do this. I only have so much time in the day. So I have to pick and choose what videos I'm making. There are a lot of very, very, very good products that are going up on Fetch. But right now, to my knowledge, I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But right now, the biggest usage for it is effectively gas for everything that's happening over there on that chain. Is it overvalued right now? Wildly, wildly overvalued, man. This thing is ridiculously high for what it is. I mean, I'm personally multiple X's on this, but it's a little bit overvalued. It's a lot of bit overvalued for the application of the blockchain tech. So for like a cache, you want to spin up a server, you're paying in a cache. For Jackal, you want storage, fine, you're paying in Jackal. This is how it works. But for Fetch, there is not enough organic desire for the token, meaning for the token to be burned for this to maintain. Right now, it's all narrative. Crypto is all narrative. Markets are all narrative. Investing is all narrative. So right now, I think it is. I think it is ridiculously overvalued. But I bought so cheap, so I'll write it down a little bit. But there's nothing I know about, but where I said it's on us because I have to pick and choose what I'm talking about. When we get more time and I'm full time, I'll be breaking out every single application on Fetch, every single thing that is out there. I'll show you what it is, what I think about it. I'll give you my impression, and then we'll move along. Hope that answered the question, Bell. Go.
YMC, YBF, GSMB. My larger alt is Siacoin. Nothing makes sense to me. That's why I'm here.
Size not bad, dude. Again, man, look, I'm a D-pin guy. All right, all the way through. We were making videos, and we were just talking about that on this court today. So we hosted the Jackal team. That was Patrick and Marston. They were still in the office because they still had day jobs. But we hosted them when this was just an idea of it. And we were been making Jackal videos and using Jackal servers. We've used them for a long time. We were on this stuff before it had a name, before it became D-Pin, the great D-Pin with the flashing strobing lights. We were all over this well before that because I believe that that's the future. I believe that this is we got the financials taken care of, guys. All right, you can't spit without it landing on a DEX or a perp or an exchange or something. All right, we're all full up on that, but in order for us to start to really integrate and get into the Web 2 world, which is where the money lives. If you don't believe that that's where the money lives, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Bitcoin right this very moment. All right, that's where the big money lives. So the trick is going to be integrating and getting that big Web 2 money into here without them being aware that they're using Web 3. That's the whole trick right now. Now, we're happen to be launching our very own app. It's going to be launching on the 15th. We're incredibly excited. It's a simple data storage app, mobile data storage app. It'll go on your phone. Pick your pictures, pick your videos, pick whatever you want on your phone, hit send, boom, off it goes, and it ends up on Jackal storage. You're going to be utilizing Web3 without even knowing that you're utilizing Web3, and that's a secret. But you cannot do that without DPIN. That's it. You cannot do that without DPIN. Everything else, most of these other things, these financials, all this stuff, man, look, these are playthings. All right? They are easily replicated, and they are easily duplicated. They are easy to get up, spin up. There's going to be 50 new perp dexes that are going to be spinning up over the next 9 months because suddenly people have money and they need a place to spend it. So casinos are going to be spinning up all over the dex, or I'm sorry, all over the DeFi. But you cannot overnight stand up in a cache. You cannot overnight build a Jackal. You just can't do it. DPIN takes time. DPIN is slow. DPIN is a grind. DPIN is physical infrastructure. That means servers. That means people who know how to put them together. That means people who know how to build protocols to accurately and efficiently utilize them. That doesn't happen overnight. So DPIN is what is going to separate all of this from where it is, from meme coins, from Doge, from your Pepe, from all of these purely speculative and financial assets into hard assets, meaning blinking lights. Blinking lights are good. I live for blinking lights because that means network action is taking place. That means money is being generated. I want it generated. I don't want it printed. Generated means that you are providing a service and being paid for that service. That is it. I'm sorry, that is it. In 2024, 2025, as these networks continue to flesh out, these are the things that are just going to boom out of this. Absolutely boom out of it. So with that, hope that answered the question. Belle, please carry on.
Pavel Various, we have no idea what the damn is going to happen. This is the best description of crypto right now that I've heard for the last couple of months.
No, we don't know. I don't know. I was in the .com, guys. All right. I lost my very first $1 million I made was during the .com, and I lost it in 3 days when it busted. Because what I'm saying is I've been in and around these markets forever. And I mean, I was just a strapping young lad when I lost $1 million in 3 days. And that was all the money that I had. It was all the money in the world. I've been around this shit for a very, very long time. So I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I have no idea what's going to happen next. So I am being personally cautious. I am taking extremely calculated risks, and I'm taking them for an extremely short amount of time. If it didn't go exactly the way I think it should have went, man, I am gone. Call me paper hands. I'm cool with it. All right. Look, I already made my money, guys. All right. This is just making more. So I am being extremely cautious with this because I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. They're still tuning into Kramer, who has never gotten a fucking thing right. But people still tune into him every single day because he knows, but he doesn't. None of the experts know. All right, we are in completely uncharted territory right now. The last Bitcoin all-time high was an absolute bubble built around synthetic Bitcoin. This one is a little bit more organic, and we are in price discovery, period. We don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what BlackRock is thinking. You don't know what Grayscale is thinking. You don't know. You're not in those rooms. You have no damn idea. And you can't simply print more Bitcoin. It has to be mined. It's a tough, tough thing right now. I don't know. Belle, carry on.
All right, Julio FX, do you have an opinion on ICP?
No. I'd love to, man. Look, I went and looked at their white paper, and I've never had a whole hell of a lot going for it. Now, the neat thing is I understand it's a name brand. All right. That thing was $400 a token at one period of time, right during the bubble. But I tried to read their white paper, and right up on top of it, it said, if you don't have at least a doctorate level of economics, you're not going to understand what we're writing, which to me screams horseshit. Because if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, we're not talking about black holes. We're not talking about physics, all right? We're talking about real basic math. And if you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you're either trying to bullshit me or you don't understand it yourself. It's nothing that I'm going to get into, man. Look, we tend to stay with stuff that we're investing in, but I have poked my head down that ICP rabbit hole. It's not for me. If it goes back to 400, that's great. Good for them. Everybody made lots of money. But it's not something that I'm comfortable with. It's not something that I'm going to tie myself up with, and I'll just kind of leave it there. Hope that answered the question. Belle, carry on.
Jersey Fresh, Scott, what are your thoughts on Dimension, modular blockchain, and future use case? And also, side note there, you deserve a joint.
I'm going to get so high, dude. I'm going to be intolerable. Belle's got to deal with it because I'll call her. Hey, Belle, hey, you ever look at $1, man? You ever really, really look at $1 seriously? You see some freaky stuff going on $1, man. She'll hang up on me, I mean, with a quickness. No, I'm much more rational when I'm just much more rational objective when I'm trying to open a bottle of bourbon. I'm sorry. Ask the question one more time, Belle. I'm distracting myself while I'm trying to get this damn bottle open while I'm on camera. This is great. Ask it again.
Scott, what are your thoughts on dimension, modular blockchain, and future use case?
Uh, it's kind of the flavor of the week, kind of the flavor of the month right now. Everybody's going that, and it came out of Ethereum Denver here. Modular. That's turned into the catchphrase. I haven't. I own a little bit of DIM. I own enough that I can talk about it without being a complete hypocrite. But uh, something bad, and I'm going off. Bell, I'm going off script here completely, so please forgive me. Something bad and weird is going on with both DIM, Celestia, and all these other things. One, I hate airdrops, guys. I see no real value in airdrops. Now, for most of the world, it's free money, but what it does is it definitely drives up the greed and stupidity factor. That's what we really need, man. Not the fear greed index. We need the greed or stupidity factor. Um, I don't like what they're doing, or how many people are what chains are taking advantage of this with the whole DIM and TIA, meaning that you have to be staked. You have to stake a very fixed amount if you want to get an airdrop. Airdrops are notoriously questionable. All right, we have no idea what they are, what they're worth, what they're going to do, their future plans, anything. Anybody can write a paper. Anybody can whip up a smart contract. All right, there's nothing to do with this, but I don't like the idea because it's turning into kind of a hustle out here where you have to make sure that you have this amount of this token staked. That means locked up. That means you can't move it, can't do anything, can't sell it, can't do it. You're stuck with it. And you need to keep it there for this time so that you can get a snapshot at some future date so that we're going to drop you nut punch or whatever. It's great. And we won't believe it when you actually get it. It's starting to feel very, very scamish to me all the way around. DIM is showing up in there a lot. DIM and TIA. I mean, they're just all over Twitter. The talking heads are up there doing their thing, and I know a paid shill when I see one. Um, they're trying their damnedest to keep you in these tokens, and I don't like parking lots. So I understand DIM modularity. It's the future. Yeah. Okay, great. Who's building on you? What's coming? Who is actually going to build on you? Because right now we have a world of parking lots out here in the DeFi. Juno was not the first. All right, they're just the latest crushing cry, but we seem to be going out of our way to build parking lots and then saying, all right, come build on us. It's going to be great. And it's not quite working out because nobody is showing up there to build because there's no real fresh ideas. Why would you go out of your way and put your reputation at stake when you could just build a DEX? You can build a perp. You can just build, waffle off from something else or build tools. But none of these things are income generating ventures. All right. They're not. They're science fairs. They're science experiments. But how do you maintain the price of these tokens when there is absolutely no action happening on those chains? What are you going to do? Well, you're going to dream up some airdrops, but you got to hold on to these tokens. You got to stake them. You got to be in there. And if you hold on to them, we're going to drop you nutsack, and it's going to be wonderful, man. You're not going to believe what this thing is going to worth. It's going to change everything. It gets you not actually asking the right questions. What are you doing? How much are you earning on your chain, and how much are you spending on your chain? We don't actually ask that question, because if we did ask that question, it's going to be like the Juno thing, when Reese was on here. Well, we earn $80,000 annually. Well, how much do you spend? We spend $1.1 million annually. Anybody that heard that, any reasonable, rational investor would say, bye-bye. Good luck, man. It's going to work out great for you, dude. Math is for boys, right? You don't need that stuff. It keeps us distracted from asking the proper questions. So there's one thing. And the other thing is that I would never click a link. I would never click a Web3 link. Click here, connect your wallet, and we're going to calculate what you're actually doing so that you can get an airdrop. The hell's the matter with you? Do you guys not know this space? Do you not understand that this is where scams are born? And every single day we're waking up to other people that got their wallets cleaned out because they clicked a link in Web3. Is the risk worth it? If you got $8 in your wallet, click the link. All right, knock yourself out. The worst that happens is you got a story and lost $8. But if you have $800,000 sitting in a hot wallet and you're clicking links, we really need to talk. All right, Scott at thepodcast.com. Hope that answered the question. Bell, carry on.
Microman, is Leap making a Kepler Google sign-in style mistake with their email and no seed phrase offering?
Hate
Gives
it.
me the willies.
Hate it. Absolutely 100%. I hate it, man. Look, I love Leap. They've been doing just wonderfully. But no, don't do it. Like, here, a sound effect for you. Here you go.
You know that pain and that hurt. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
That's what Leap's doing. All right, they are doing effectively a Google sign-in. All right, just don't worry, man. Just email. Like, it's going to appeal to Web 2 people. I understand it. I get it. Don't do this. Leap is excellent. They have a good brand. Don't do this. It is, I see no value in this whatsoever. No value. But yes, it is effectively what Kepler does with sign in with your Google account. Bell and I used to take meetings trying to help people out who created a wallet with their Google account, got hacked, and are about to lose their money because all of their tokens are starting to unbond now. All right, we have stood, hours and hours and hours that we have commiserated with people. We've hugged them. We've wiped away their tears as we told them, yep, you're fucked. What were you thinking? That's it. That was kind of the whole thing. And I understand why they're doing it. But it is 1,000% a mistake. Don't do it. It's akin to when Ledger came out and said, yeah, we kind of know your seed phrase. And they did. And we forgot about it because it's not in the news. But it's the same reason that I will never, ever upgrade my Ledger, period. So, no, it's a critical mistake. Absolutely do not do that unless you simply don't care and are never going to put any money in that wallet. If you're just doing it to show your friends you have a DeFi wallet, go for it. But if you intend to put money in there, don't. Just don't. Hope that answered the question, Bell. Carry on.
Always Wanderlust. Ticker above you, hydrogen, $0, but up 10%. What is that token about?
Nah, just little meme tokens, man. They have no real value, and it depends on how they're put in to CoinGecko, because I think most of the feeds on this is pulled to CoinGecko. It means that there's so many decimals down that it's $0, because it is $0 if you're only using 2 decimal points. It's up 10%. You should buy it. It's a hot token. Have you heard of hydrogen? It's awesome, and it's up 10%. I just use their ticker. I don't exactly agree and endorse every different token that's on there. I'm glad I'm still making money on Crow, though. I told you I've been scalping the shit out of everything right now. But I can't ride it to its completion. I'm not going to do that because I don't know what that is going to do. So until I know what that is going to do, I am short. The only thing I keep are my longs, my cash, my jackal, my kudos. Those are the only ones that I'm keeping are my long tokens. Everything else, when we're done with this stream, everything else I hold that is not a long token will go to cash. I have no idea how Asia feels about this. I don't know what they're going to do with it tonight. 4 a.m. is a terrible, terrible time in crypto now because everybody's warming up, trying to guess what Bitcoin's going to do because when the market goes live at 7:30, we don't know. I don't like to invest where I don't know. I want to be Gordon Gecko here. All right. Information is what's valuable right now, and I simply don't have it. Carry on, Bell.
Bud, can you stream and smoke your first joint?
Nah, man, I would never do that. We write, on the YouTube thing that we're not safe for kids, but I can't guarantee that kids are not going to be watching this thing. I don't know why they would get any value out of this, but I can never guarantee that. I'll never go on high. I'm not going to do any of that other stuff, man. Look, we move a lot of money, so no, I'm not going to put that thing off. But for some reason, the smoky rooms with men in coats and ties drinking bourbon just seems to be morally acceptable. So I take advantage of that. But in none of those rooms are these billionaires up there passing the pipe, man. They're just not doing that. Carry on, Bill.
Makokata Streamwalker with the last question for right now. When are the Jackal staking reward rates going to be cut?
V4. It's look, it's all over there on the Jackal Discord. I know a lot of the Jackal questions come to us, and that's fine. We have a lot of people that have been that have been in and around Jackal for a long, long time. We have a lot of the information, but the official information is what you're going to be getting over on the Jackal Discord. Just join it. It's an open invitation. I don't know, Bell, link it to the chat here so that people want to know about Jackal. Please go over there to the Jackal place. I really didn't get into any money tonight, Bell. That's kind of a shame. I got a whole bunch of these things I wanted to talk about. Hash, believe it or not, hash is very, very interesting to me right now. This was brought up by or being kind of pushed. It's its own ecosystem, and there's a lot of products that are built on top of it. But one of those products was actually founded by a former executive of SoFi, and like him or hate him, the guy understands banking. He understands borrowing, lending, loans, all that other good stuff. And I want to be where I want to have my money where the people who are very, very good at managing it are doing business. Because, I want to capitalize on their efforts. That's really all it is. But this thing is wild. I'm talking 20% swings instantly. So don't dabble in this unless you're willing to watch this stuff go way, way down and then way, way the hell up. You can horse around with it, but until it settles down, and this thing has got a big supply, until that thing settles down, man, my advice is stay away from it. Bitsong. Long been a fan, dude. We were doing Bitsong videos before people even cared. It's the one product. It's a Web3 product that I use every single day. I use Audius. I use the Audius app. And if you don't have the Audius app, Bell, link that in chat because if we don't support Web3 products, guys, what are we doing here? What's the point? Best app in crypto is the Audius app. It's the absolute hands down best Web3 app there is Audius. The next I'm going to say is Orchid. The Orchid VPN is a fantastic app. If you want decentralized VPN, right now I go with Orchid. I think Sentinel is better, measurably better and by any wicket, but Orchid's got a good app, man. So I will give up security for convenience. And Orchid's just got a much, much better app. But Bitsong is another one of them that I use constantly. I always have it up. I listen to Italian radio, and it's great, man, because it's like 60s, 70s, 80s stuff that I like to listen to. It's American songs with Italian DJs, and I just love it when those guys belt in there, man, because they're energetic. I was a DJ for a long, long time, so I appreciate the art. But those guys are fired up, man. They're a whole next level of craziness, and I really, really appreciate it. But it is brought to you by Bitsong, so I use that one every single day. Juno, been scalping it. As long as Juno goes up, I'm a huge fan. Juno is the best. Everybody should buy some Juno. And as long as it keeps going up, man, I'm there. The very second it wobbles, I am gone. I am gone. I scalp a lot of tokens, and I squat on a lot of tokens. I do it. I'm looking for the ones that are running more or less like this over a period of time. Those are the ones that I'm looking for. And when I start to see them creeping up just a little bit, I will squat on tokens because I'm catching them low, and I'm only going to really risk maybe 10% either way, but the upside can be much greater. So I will squat on things all the time. I'll squat on Evmos. I'll squat on Juno. I will squat on these tokens wherever I think the bottom is, and I will make big buys. Not enough. I'll iceberg in. Not enough to move the needle with a single buy. I'm not that kind of guy, but I will inch it up. And if I'm inching it up, suddenly people start to look at it. And what do we always say about a token? Token going up, token good. So if it is inching up, suddenly more people start to get in there. But they got in after me. Anybody gets in after me on a scalp token? Sorry. You should have set the stage, but you didn't. So I will enjoy the hell out of things like this, and I will scalp the hell out of things like this, and I will take those things like this, and I will turn them into Bitcoin or whatever other pure blue chip. Lately, it's been Atom. It's been Atom for about the last 60, 90 days. Everything that I've been scalping, I've been putting into Atom. I don't like Atom. I hate that the cartel controls it. I hate that they can dump it on your ass at any single time. You want to see what an Atom dump looks like? You want to see what one of your you want to see what one of your guys getting out of this looks like? It's right there, pal. That's what one of your guys who decided enough's enough is doing, from 1277 to 1239 in 2 cells. All right, this is a almost a $5 billion market cap token. These are massive, massive sells. And this is not your average retail investor doing it. That's cartel doing that. So why are they doing it? I don't know, but I know that they are. So if they're pushing into like that stuff, I'm going to be more cautious. I will only buy it with other people's money. That means when I scalp the shit out of Juno, I'm going to buy Atom with it. I'm going to take that Atom, I'm going to move it right over to here because there's a fantastic pool for that, and that one's sitting right there. That's that X Atom AXV. Fantastic pool. I don't know the entire disposition of this pool, but I can tell you flat out half of it's mine. And I'm more than happy to continue to support this because it doesn't move really fast. That's what I'm looking for. When I say I'm scalping into blue chips, this is what I mean. I'm scalping into tokens that don't move very fast. Up and down 10% for here, DeFi, Cosmos, babe, that's Tuesday. All right, I could take those all day long. And when I'm not paying for it, my entry price really doesn't matter. I had a funny question. I'm going to end this. This is going to be my monologue out, Bill, because we did run long. I had a funny comment. Not a funny comment. The guy was serious, so, I gave him a serious answer. But it was on an AMP video. As soon as I see a comment on an AMP video, I assume it's either going to be, it's just going to be a bad comment, man. Those guys are something. But the comment basically laid out and said, what's your angle? What is your angle? Why do you make AMP videos? Why do you continue to do this? What is in it for you? What's in it for me is absolutely nothing. All right, absolutely nothing. I'm telling you guys flat out, the YouTube channel, all the time and effort that me and Bell spend on this, our ad revenue is approximately $200 a month. And we spend at least that many hours doing the show. All right, so we're making about $1 an hour. So what is my angle as far as getting views? No, I don't know. I don't care. My angle has always been, we did well in crypto. I did well. Bell did well. All right. We took the risk at the right time, right place, had the capital to do it, capitalized on it, and we did okay. But that's never been the journey for us. It's not taking a bow. It's not taking a victory lap. It's not champagne or firecrackers or anything like that. The journey for us has always been going back for the others. I am a huge fan of Plato. And if you've never read the Allegory of the Cave, read the Allegory of the Cave, man, because it applies to your entire life, and it will change your entire life if you can read it and understand it. It's very, very basic stuff. But we were able to see through all of the bullshit, just years of experience of doing this, that Bell and I were able to get our money in at the right place at the right time, see through all the bullshit, capitalize, maximize as much as we can, and get them into smart projects that have a future, meaning we're looking at it from 30,000 feet and I see, oh no, this thing's going to go. So we were able to do that. But that's not, that's a end of a revolution, but that's not the journey. The journey is going back into that cave after the others. That's the journey, because there are still so many people out here that simply assign value to the shadows because that's all they know. The shadows on the wall. They assign value to them, and it is their entire reality, and it's not. It's not even close to reality. It's whatever people are telling you. It's whatever you heard. It's whatever person, the most charismatic person you can find that's explaining it to you. Suddenly that's your reality. It's not the reality, man. All right? That's a reality that may benefit that person, but it's going to benefit that person at your expense. So for us, the journey is going back into the cave and looking like assholes and pulling our pants down and being open to ridicule and slander and threats and everything else that goes with trying to deprogram people who are simply unaware that they're programmed. That's the journey for us. We're not high and mighty and we don't know it all. I'm pretty sure if you watch this stream, I openly admit, nope, got no idea on this, but this is how I'm going to play it. So we want to go back in after the other people so that they don't miss this. All right. They missed it in 2021 and 2022. They didn't capitalize on what was an obvious bubble. They didn't do any of those things. And it is our mission this time to make sure that they can do it this time, because nobody should come out of this broke. That's our mission. That's why we do it. That's why we continue to do it. Anyway, that wasn't a question. Consider that my outro, guys. I have nothing but love for everybody in this family. I appreciate it. Questions or comments, you know where we're at. Belle, please talk us up. Get us out of here.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us for this impromptu, unscheduled live stream, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys, and you guys do continue to hammer us with fantastic questions. Those really do make us think, and they do keep us on our toes. With that being said, we are going to be back on at our normal time of 6 p.m. Central Standard tomorrow night. In between now and tomorrow night, if you guys have any more comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to email Scott or myself, Scott@ThePodcast.com or Bella@ThePodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we cannot say thank you guys enough, and we'll see you next time.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our